Hey everyone, welcome back. You know all those notes you sent in about streamlining workflows?
Mm-hmm.
Got us thinking, how often do we actually stop and appreciate it?
Appreciate what?
The magic that happens when we get those systems humming?
I see what you mean.
Not talking robots taking over or anything like that, but how the right tech can actually make things more human.
It really is interesting, isn't it? It's not just about speed, though,
Right,
even though that is a big part of it.
for sure.
But it's about how the right tools can change the whole feel of a business.
Absolutely. So, okay, picture this. You
That's
might
right.
even relate to this from your own notes.
Uh-huh.
It's that classic scene of the overwhelmed business owner.
Oh, yeah.
5 different programs open, sticky notes taking over their desk. The calendar's a rainbow of appointments.
Yikes.
Information overload central.
It's not just visually chaotic either.
You're right.
It's mentally draining. Trying to keep all those plates spinning just takes energy away from the work itself.
Totally. So Enter Stage left a tailored software solution.
Okay.
Not some generic thing, but something built around the way this business actually operates.
And this is where the before and after gets really dramatic.
Right.
Suddenly, instead of hunting for info across platforms, it's all right there.
Makes such a difference.
Think about those CRM systems.
Oh, yeah.
You've got sales, customer details, communication history, all in one place.
You're totally right. In your notes, you highlighted the frustration of duplicate data entry.
Ugh, it's the worst.
This kind of solution wipes that out.
Poof.
No more wasted time and way less chance of errors creeping in.
And that brings us to one of the biggest impacts,
Okay?
employee morale. When people aren't bogged down by tedious tasks,
Yeah.
their energy shifts.
It's like night and day.
Instead of just doing their job, they've got space to actually think about it.
It's like they go from data entry robots to actual problem solvers, right?
Exactly. And that's where research on motivation comes in,
I was just going to ask you about that.
People are more engaged when they feel a sense of autonomy and mastery.
Mm-hmm.
Streamlined workflows give them that
Makes sense.
they're in control. They're becoming experts.
Yeah.
And that translates to a more positive experience overall.
So happier employees, fewer errors. Sounds like a win for the business owner, too.
Definitely.
But what's in it for them beyond a cleaner desk? You mentioned something in your notes about having a bird's eye view.
Yes. This is where things get strategic.
Yes.
Think about real-time dashboards.
Okay.
Maybe it's showing sales trends, inventory levels, customer feedback,
Got it.
all updating constantly. Before that info was scattered,
Yeah.
now is giving the owner a clear picture of the business's health.
So instead of reacting to problems after they blow up,
Yeah.
they can see them developing and get ahead of the curve.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's where data-driven decision-making comes in.
Makes sense.
No more gut feelings.
Right?
They're making choices.
Yeah.
Based on what the numbers are telling them. That level of insight can unlock growth opportunities they wouldn't have even seen before.
I'm starting to see why you call this transformative.
It really is.
It's not just about ticking tasks off faster.
No.
It's about having the mental space to steer the business in a whole new direction.
And it's not just the owner either.
Oh,
That clarity cascades down.
interesting.
Remember how you mentioned in your notes how frustrating it was when staff weren't on the same page about procedures?
Oh, tell me about it. We had this whole fiasco with conflicting customer info because our systems weren't talking to each other.
Right, so imagine a system where everyone's accessing the same up-to-date info.
Okay, yeah.
No more conflicting details. Everyone's working from the same playbook.
I like that.
That consistency breeds confidence, both for the team and for the customers they're interacting with.
And that is something I think we all crave.
Absolutely.
That sense that things are running smoothly, that we're in control.
Which leads us to the often overlooked peace of mind benefit.
I don't think we talk about that enough.
When systems are streamlined, you're not constantly worried about things falling through the cracks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It frees up mental energy
Right.
to focus on the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the strategic stuff that really moves the needle.
So we've got happier, more empowered employees,
Yep.
a leader with a clear vision,
Uh-huh.
and customers who are getting a consistent, reliable experience.
It's a beautiful thing.
Where does technology like automation fit into all of this?
Think of automation as the secret sauce that amplifies all these benefits.
Okay.
Tools like Zapier or IFTTT
Yeah,
can connect different apps, so information flows automatically.
I see.
Let's say a new customer signs up on your website.
Okay.
Boom. Their details are instantly added to your CRM. A welcome email is triggered, and they're added to your mailing list. No manual steps, no delays, Just seamless efficiency.
So it's like taking all those little repetitive tasks that suck up our time
Yeah.
and making them vanish into thin air.
Exactly. And that frees up human brain power for the things that really matter.
Like,
Building relationships, solving problems, and creating value. It's like giving those tasks a one-way ticket out. And you know the best part.
yeah.
It lets the human element shine through even more brightly.
You know, it's funny. When we started this deep dive,
Uh-huh.
I was picturing pure efficiency,
Okay.
like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
But what you're describing is almost the opposite. It's like this tech is actually making things more human, not less.
Because at the end of the day, business is about people, right?
Yeah.
It's about connection,
Yeah.
about solving problems for someone.
And this kind of streamlining, it's almost like it gets the stuff out of the way so those connections can happen more easily.
Yeah.
You brought up an interesting example in your notes. The business owner who was drowning in paperwork.
Oh, yeah. They were so bogged down, they barely had time to talk to their own team,
Really?
little their customers.
Wow.
But with the right systems in place,
Yeah.
suddenly they're freed up
Yeah.
to have real conversations, to understand their team's challenges, to actually listen to what their customers need.
It's like they're present in a way they couldn't be before. Like that mental bandwidth is now available for those human interactions.
And that presence, that attentiveness,
Yeah.
it has a ripple effect.
I bet.
Employees feel seen and heard, customers feel valued, and that translates to a better experience all around.
Which brings us to this word that keeps popping up in your notes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not something we usually associate with spreadsheets and databases.
But think about it. When a system works really well,
Yeah.
when it's intuitive, when it just flows,
Yeah.
there's an elegance to that, isn't there?
Like a well-designed website, you don't even notice the tech. You're just enjoying the experience.
Exactly. It's that feeling of everything working in harmony, like a perfectly choreographed dance.
Okay, I'm totally on board with this beauty and business idea,
Uh-huh.
but let's get practical for a second.
Okay.
Say someone's listening to this, they're feeling that overwhelm,
Yeah.
that chaos in their own workflow. Right.
Where do they even start to untangle that?
You know, in your notes, you mentioned feeling lost when you first started looking into this.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a common experience. It's tempting to just grab any software that looks shiny,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but it's really about finding the right fit.
Like trying to squeeze into a pair of shoes that are the wrong size, painful,
Yeah.
and ultimately not going to get you where you need to go.
And that's where expertise like Ken Dawson's comes in.
Right.
He's not just building software, he's solving problems.
I see.
He looks at the business as a whole, figures out the pressure points,
Yeah.
and then tailors a solution to those specific needs.
So it's not about finding a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
It's about creating something unique to the business.
Exactly. It's like
Okay.
a custom tailored suit. It fits perfectly, it moves with you, it just works. And that's where the real magic happens.
My magic.
Because when you have a system that's designed to support the way you work,
Right.
it stops feeling like a burden.
Yeah. And starts feeling like an extension of your own capabilities.
It's like having a really great assistant,
Right.
anticipating your needs,
Yeah.
taking care of the details,
Yeah.
freeing you up to focus on the bigger picture.
And just like any good working relationship, it's built on trust communication
Yeah.
and a shared understanding of the goals.
So for our listener who's maybe feeling a little lost right now,
Yeah.
what's that first step they can take to get out of the weeds?
I think the most important thing is simply to acknowledge that there's a problem,
Okay.
that things could be better,
Right.
that there might be a more harmonious and efficient way to operate.
And then?
Then it's about reaching out, finding that expert guide
Mm-hmm.
who can help them navigate the process.
Yeah.
Someone who can analyze their current systems, see the potential,
I see it.
and lead them towards a solution that fits like a glove.
So it's not about becoming a tech whiz overnight.
Right.
It's about finding someone who can translate that tech into real-world solutions.
Someone who doesn't just give them the fish,
Right.
but teaches them how to fish.
I like that.
Because ultimately, it's about empowering the business owner
Yeah.
to take control of their workflow and create a system that truly works for them.
It's a mindset shift, isn't it?
It really is.
From feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered. And, that's something I'm noticing even in my own life.
Oh, tell me about it. I used to think organization was for neat freaks,
I hear you.
but now I'm realizing it's actually about freedom.
It's like once you get those systems in place,
Yeah.
you've got more mental space for the things that actually matter.
And that feeling of freedom,
Uh-huh.
it radiates outwards.
I bet.
It impacts your team, your customers,
Wow.
even your personal life.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned how your notes were about your business.
Yeah.
But you were also hoping this would apply to other areas.
Absolutely. I'm starting to see how this whole streamlining idea isn't just about business, it's about life in general.
It's like we've stumbled onto a universal principle here.
Oh, yeah.
A framework for creating more harmony and flow in all aspects of our existence.
Because if we can apply these principles to something as complex as a business, why not our finances, our health, our relationships?
Right.
What if we started looking at those areas with the same lens of intentionality and optimization?
I like that.
What if we identified the pain points, the inefficiencies, the things that are draining our energy and preventing us from living our best lives?
It's a pretty radical idea.
I know, right?
But it's also incredibly exciting.
It is.
Like we're unlocking this whole new level of potential, not just for our businesses, but for ourselves as well.
It's about moving from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance.
I like that.
From feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered, from being reactive to being proactive.
And that shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating.
It really can.
It's like we're stepping out of the weeds and into a wide open field.
Wow.
We can finally see the horizon. We've got the tools and the clarity to chart our own course.
And I think that's a beautiful way to think about it.
Speaking of beauty, remember how you highlighted that quote in your notes?
Which one?
About technology and humanity working together to create something remarkable?
I do. And now I'm seeing that it's not just about the end result. It's about the process itself.
Right.
It's about using these tools in a way that enhances our humanity, not diminishes it.
It's about recognizing that technology, at its best, is a tool for connection, for creativity, for making our lives richer and more meaningful.
So it's not about replacing humans with robots. It's about freeing up our human energy to do what we do best, connect, create, and contribute.
And when we approach technology with that mindset, the possibilities are truly limitless.
It's interesting, isn't it?
What is?
As we're talking about all this, I keep thinking about those people. The ones still stuck in that before picture.
Right.
The ones drowning in to-do lists, juggling a million different systems, feeling that constant knot of overwhelm.
It's easy to get paralyzed by it.
By what?
The thought of change. To feel like it's all just too much, too daunting.
Exactly. Like, even starting feels impossible.
Yeah.
You mentioned in your notes that you put off dealing with this for months.
I did.
Just because the thought of overhauling your systems was so overwhelming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. It really was.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Change can be scary, even when we know it's for the best.
For sure.
We get comfortable in our routines, even if they're not really working for us.
It's true.
But what would you say to someone who's feeling that resistance, that fear of taking that first step?
I'd say this. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
The longer you stay stuck in that cycle of chaos, the more you're missing out.
On what?
On the freedom and clarity that come with a streamlined system.
It's like you're holding onto a leaky life raft.
Oh, yeah?
When there's a beautiful sailboat ready to take you to calmer waters.
And that sailboat is powered by the right tools, guided by expertise, and fueled by your own desire for a better, more fulfilling way of working.
This has been amazing.
It has.
But here's the thing that really struck me as we were prepping for this deep dive.
What's that?
This isn't just about business, is it?
What do you mean?
This whole concept of streamlining and optimizing, it applies to life in general.
You know, that's what's so powerful about these principles.
What is?
They're universal.
I see it now.
Think about all the areas of our lives where we could benefit from a little more intentionality, a little more clarity.
Our finances, our health, our relationships, even just our daily routines. We try to keep all these plates spinning.
Right.
But what if we actually took the time
to do what?
To design a system that makes it all flow more smoothly.
We can ask ourselves those same questions we've been talking about today.
Like what?
What's the pain point? What's the goal? What are the tools that can help us get there?
It's like we've stumbled onto this secret formula.
For what?
For creating more harmony and ease in all areas of our lives.
I think that's what people are really craving these days.
What is?
That sense of peace, of being in control, of having the mental space to actually enjoy their lives.
Instead of feeling like they're constantly running on a treadmill just to keep up.
Exactly. And technology, instead of being the source of that overwhelm, can actually be the key to unlocking that sense of freedom.
So it's not about becoming a slave to our devices.
No.
It's about using them intentionally, strategically, to create a life that feels more aligned.
With what?
With our values and our goals.
It's about moving from that mindset of I have to a mindset of I choose to.
Powerful stuff. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a challenge.
Ooh, I love a good challenge.
I challenge you to take a look at one area of your life. It could be work, it could be home, it could be your relationships. And ask yourself this: what could be streamlined? What could be optimized? What could be made more beautiful?
It's such a simple question, but it can be the catalyst for some pretty profound change.
Because when we start to look at our lives through this lens of intentionality and optimization, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We create space for more joy, more creativity, more fulfillment, and maybe, just maybe, we even discover a little bit of beauty along the way.
Beautifully said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it sparked some new ideas and inspired you to take a closer look at the systems in your own life. And remember, a little bit of streamlining can go a long way. Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep striving to create a life that truly reflects your best self.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You know all those notes you sent in about streamlining workflows? Got us thinking, like, how often do we actually stop and appreciate it?
Appreciate what?
You know, the magic that happens when we get those systems humming?
I see what you mean.
Not talking robots taking over or anything like that, but how the right tech can actually make things more human.
It really is interesting, isn't it? It's not just about speed, though.
Right.
Even though that is a big part of it.
For sure.
But it's about how the right tools can change the whole feel of a business.
Absolutely. So, okay, picture this. You might even relate to this from your own notes. It's that classic scene of the overwhelmed business owner.
Oh, yeah. 5
different programs open, sticky notes taking over their desk. The calendar's a rainbow of appointments.
Yikes.
Information overload central.
It's not just visually chaotic either.
You're right.
It's mentally draining. Trying to keep all those plates spinning just takes energy away from the work itself.
Totally. So enter stage left a tailored software solution.
Okay.
Not some generic thing, but something built around the way this business actually operates.
And this is where the before and after gets really dramatic.
Right.
Suddenly, instead of hunting for info across platforms, it's all right there.
Makes such a difference.
Think about those CRM systems.
Oh, yeah.
You've got sales, customer details, communication history, all in one place.
You're totally right. You know, in your notes, you highlighted the frustration of duplicate data entry.
Ugh, it's the worst.
This kind of solution wipes that out.
Poof.
No more wasted time and way less chance of errors creeping in.
And that brings us to one of the biggest impacts.
Okay.
Employee morale. When people aren't bogged down by tedious tasks, their energy shifts.
It's like night and day.
Instead of just doing their job, they've got space to actually think about it.
It's like they go from data entry robots to actual problem solvers, right?
Exactly. And that's where research on motivation comes in, you know.
I was just going